financial aspect, and I really wasn't prepared for it. It was really unexpected. You know how you feel like this is really unfair, like it went completely against everything that I had planned. It was just messing up a lot of things, and it's just been a lot that I've been going through. But God has really been keeping me, and it was really challenging for me to, you know, submit to whatever I needed to do. And I was unsure, you know, if I wanted to go about it that way, if I wanted to make that sacrifice and pay the money and for whatever I had to do. And so it's really difficult, and, you know, you talk to people, and, you know, God always puts the right people in your ear that will lead you back to him to make decisions that God will want you to do. But, you know, when you're going through things that you feel are unfair, that you just completely unexpected, you start kind of complaining. You think about yourself and you say, well, I don't got to do it that way. I can do it this way, which will be benefiting me. But God didn't allow me to do that by his grace. And so I still chose to do what he had wanted me to do. And so the testimony is, like I'm telling y'all, this is a big little change for me for what was going on. But the testimony is that I understood God's perspective and what God wanted me to do. Though it was unfair, it was the wrong timing, it was something I ain't even had nothing to do with. It just, all the things. It's just all the things. But God was letting me know that this is what I want you to do, though. Like, whether you like it or not, this is my will. And so it's so important to, you know, stay in the will of God. And I knew it was the will of God, and it was so frustrating because I just know, like, man, I know this is you, even though it was unfair. So I made up my mind. I said, yes, I'll, you know, do what I had to do. And I had peace about it. I was happy about it because God has showed me his perspective. And plenty of times, Pastor Sam has prayed for me, and he always says, to whom much is given, much is required. And it's so powerful because you think when you ask God for things, we ask God a whole bunch of stuff, but we think we have an idea of what he's going to ask of us, and it's completely not what we have on the agenda. And so I ask God for a lot of things in my life, I mean, in my right now life, future life, things of that. And so then when God asks you of something, it's totally not what you expect. And this was one of those things, it's like, what? Like, no, I think that's really unfair. So God reminded me that, like, you know, if you want a lot of things from me, you have to give up things. You have to sacrifice things. You have to be obedient to me, and obedience isn't easy. And so, like I said yes, did what I had to do, had peace about it. I was actually joyous about it because I could see not only was God making a way for me, but he was making a way for other people through that thing. And so said yes, all things well. I just started a job 2 months ago in my career field, and it's been a really blessing, really great job and things like that. Amen. And so, you know, I remember when I first started the job, I had told, you know how you be, because you know God, you're like, God, I want to make this much money. And you know you're not even qualified to be making that kind of money, but you just ask anyway. So literally the day after I said yes to what I had to do, my supervisor called me and like my other coworkers into the office, and they said they did some little market analysis. Mind you, I've been on this job for 2 months, don't have experience in the specific field. I have my degrees and stuff, but not like a whole lot of experience in the field. I do okay, but you know, so they had this meeting, said they did some market analysis. Long story short, they gave me a $10,000 salary increase. Yes. About the money, but it's just like what I asked God for when I first got the job, because you know we have our own way of thinking. God does not think like us. So where I thought, well, God, you opened up the opportunity, I want to get what I asked you for. And when they hired me, I never knew that I would have to, 2 months in, a whole lot of transitions would happen within my family, where I would have to be responsible for certain things. And then after I said yes to God, the day after they had offered that, and so I was just so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. Amen. 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 Yeah. Amen. So I was just so overwhelmed because God really showed me in that moment that he will provide for you. Yes. And you got to get out of your own way and seeing things at face value. That's why God says we should live in the spirit and, you know, not by the flesh. And so living by the flesh, you're like, God, this isn't adding up. I'm not going to have money for this, this, and that. And like, I could have never expected, and I'm not even qualified for that. I'll be honest. I'm like, I don't deserve that. I ain't did nothing to deserve that. I ain't been there long enough. I don't have enough experience to deserve that kind of an increase. I'm getting the same increase. Like, it just, no way. But not only did God do that, he made a way where what he's asking me to give is easy. It's like, it's easy to do that. And I'm so thankful for how he did that for me. Amen. Amen. So I just wanted to encourage everyone, like, it's so beneficial to trust God and to get out of your own way. And like, we go through things, but you just never know what God is going to do for you. And so I learned so many lessons. I learned to, be more dependent on God, to stop depending on, God says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not onto your own understanding, because what I was understanding wasn't adding up. But God is just, he's blown me away how you have given me more than what I even asked you for, what I knew I wasn't qualified for that money. And I'm like, wow. So I'm just really grateful. God is so able, and if he can do that for me, he definitely can do it for you. So I'm just grateful. God provides. He's so good. He's so aggressive with his love for me. And like, I'm overwhelmed how God, he provides for you. And not only is he providing for me, but he's providing for others through this. It's not just about me. It's not just about money. No, it's nothing about that. But it's the fact that God is saying, I will make a way out of no way. So, and this has never happened in this department ever in life. This is history. This whole market analysis thing is history. This has never happened. And God lets it happen the day after I said, okay, I'll do what you asked me to do. So it's really powerful.
Amen. Come on, give the Lord a hand praise. Come on. Wow. Come on. 2 months on the job. $10,000. Sophia, see if they need another employee. I'm coming down. You hear me? Amen. God, amen. I am so happy. You know what? I'm going to tell you. I get excited when the people of God are blessed, because you know what? That lets me know that we're in a place where people are about to get blessed. You can be excited when you see rain coming in the church, because you know what? God is raining. That's just a reason to get excited. I'm telling you, when God blesses somebody in the church, that's a reason for you to get excited, because rain is coming your way. Rain is coming your way. That's all. I'm so happy. You have to trust God. We have to believe God. She said right after she trusted and believed God, God moved. God responds to faith. He just needs us to trust him and believe him. God bless you today.